In the year 921 AD, a man left Baghdad. He carried a letter from the Abbasid Caliph to an unknown king in an unknown land. He did not know the journey would last 9 years, and that he would see things that cannot be forgotten and cannot be told. His name? Ahmad ibn Fadlan, and before his death he burned all his memoirs. But the deleted part was found in 1923. This is the story of the scholar who burned his soul. Ahmad ibn Fadlan, Abbasid writer and diplomat. His mission? Deliver the caliph's gifts to the king of the Saqaliba, the king of the Rus. But the Rus were not what he expected. He reached the land of the Rus in 922. He found tall men, blond, carrying huge swords, drinking alcohol from the skulls of their enemies, worshipping gods no one had heard of. But the most terrifying was not what he saw, but what he discovered. In one village, he witnessed a ritual. Not just a ritual, but a human sacrifice. Every 9 years, the tribe chose a victim, hung them in a sacred forest, and left them for the gods. But Ibn Fadlan did not believe that the gods were mere legend. On the longest summer night of 922, Ibn Fadlan entered the sacred forest. He wanted the truth, but the truth was consuming him. He found the victim, a girl no more than 20, hung between two trees, still alive, whispering something in a language he did not understand. But he understood her eyes. Fear, not of death, but of those who come. At midnight, they came, not gods, but priests, wearing animal skin masks, carrying knives of volcanic stone, and they began to eat. They did not eat the corpse, they ate the victim, alive. Ibn Fadlan was hiding, watching, hearing, vomiting in silence. But he did not flee. Why? Because he saw the face of one of the priests, a face he knew. The tribe's chieftain himself, the man who had welcomed him yesterday, the man who had said, "We are civilization." After that night, Ibn Fadlan changed. He began avoiding people, writing in his tent all day. But he was watching a girl. Ingrid, the chieftain's daughter, 19 years old, beautiful as snow, but her eyes as sad as the victim's. He discovered the truth. Ingrid was the next victim. In 931, she would be hung in the forest, eaten alive, and she had known this since birth. Ibn Fadlan offered to help her escape on a stormy night, but she refused. She said, "If I flee, they will eat my mother instead, and my little sister, and my blind grandmother. I die, so they may live." He asked her, "Do you believe in their gods?" She looked at him and smiled, a smile that was not a human smile. She said, "I do not believe in gods, but I believe in hunger. Hunger is stronger than all gods." In 931, Ibn Fadlan returned to the forest, but this time he was not hiding. He carried a sword and a bucket of water and a Quran. But when he arrived, he found Ingrid already hung, and the priests surrounding her, and the chieftain looking at him, waiting. The chieftain said, "You want to save her, but you want to eat her too, don't you? The hunger is in your eyes." Ibn Fadlan looked at Ingrid. She was looking at him, not asking for salvation, asking for witness. He placed the sword, kneeled, and watched. He watched the priests eat her. He watched the chieftain offer him a drop of blood as hospitality. He watched and accepted. Ibn Fadlan returned to Baghdad in 932. He wrote his famous journey, but he hid 47 pages. The deleted pages were found in the Stockholm archive in 1923. They describe the ritual in detail, describe the chieftain's face, describe the taste of blood. But most terrifying, the last page contains a description of another ritual, a ritual he did not witness. The ritual of return. It says that whoever eats the victim's flesh becomes part of her, and the victim lives in him, waits, multiplies. Ibn Fadlan died in 960, but 10 years before his death, he began screaming at night. He saw Ingrid in the corners of the room. She was smiling. She was waiting. When his grave was opened in 1965, they found the body undecomposed and his mouth open, and in his stomach, unknown parasites. They were eating from the inside, as if they had been eating for 1,000 years. Today, the sacred forest still exists in Russia. No one knows its exact location, but every 9 years, a person disappears. And the locals say, do not go to the forest on the longest summer night, because they are looking for a new guest. Ahmad ibn Fadlan was a guest, then a witness, then a participant. And the question, did he leave the forest, or did the forest leave him? Subscribe now, but beware, some journeys do not return.